Today is Tuesday, July 16th. It's a meeting of the Berlin Board of Health being conducted via Zoom. Anybody that needs or wishes to speak will be given that opportunity. The proceedings of this meeting are being recorded so that they can be revisited and people can contact us after the fact if so desired. This is being conducted according to the auspices of something the state mandated down a number of years ago at this point due to COVID. We are still able to meet in person, but Zoom seems to be working for a lot of people, so that's what we are doing tonight. With that, 7 o'clock, we can start discussions. The first thing on the agenda is Bellevue Road. And I can give you some information. It might not be breathtakingly new, but the brother-in-law is been working with counsel relative to the situation to see if he can get power of attorney. A doctor was brought in. I don't know the results of that examination to assist in that. So unless, Bill, you have heard or picked up any other information, it is still status quo that that house is shut down and uninhabitable at this point.
Yeah, Paul, I don't know if I told you, I mentioned it to Kristen. We did get a voicemail from Attorney Bailey just indicating that he's working with Tom, just to kind of give us that heads up that that is in process. But that was a couple weeks ago and really haven't heard anything since, but he did at least contact the board to let them know that is in process.
Yeah. I miscued my time today. I was going to give Tom a call because I know he basically heads off to work sometime between 12 and 2 and doesn't get home till midnight or after. So I will try and reach out to him the next day or two to get an update from him, which I will pass on. 20 Walnut Street.
Yeah, that was a building permit application with a value over 50,000, might have been over 100, but I commented in Viewpoint about the need for a new tank and have not heard back from builder or owner.
Okay.
Again, I put those on in case someone wants to come in, but I have not heard from anybody on that
Right.
one.
Okay. I know the owner, I know that situation. I haven't been there. I know some work has started, but I don't even know if and the work that was started was just demolition of like a three-season porch.
Yep.
Where a new addition will be put on. Next one, 97 Boylston Road, and we have the owner, Carl Matthew, with us for this meeting.
It's Todd Matthew too.
And that, again, is a building permit application, which, due to the amount, has triggered what we have traditionally seen as an opportunity to work with the homeowner to upgrade their existing septic system, or at least septic tank, to get it in compliance with DEP and town regulations. Well, Carl or Bill, either one of you want to weigh in, and then I will weigh in. I went to the site and met with Carl earlier today, so I have some observations to add. Carl, let's start with you.
We got Todd in there too.
Oh, okay, Todd, who's
I asked him to unmute, but he's still muted.
Yeah, maybe Todd or Carl could give us I forget the value of the project.
Okay,
We
there.
could at least get that out there and then talk about the site difficulties.
Yep.
I believe the value is somewhere around 100.
Thought it was just under maybe, yeah.
How much, Carl? I'm sorry, I missed that.
A little under
A
100,000.
little under 100, okay.
And Bob was very familiar with the area too, relative to my garage and my front room on the side hill where the tank is, where the dog yard is. Um, I showed that to Paul this morning, and it's would be quite a job to try to replace the tank without pretty much destroying what's currently there.
I'll jump in at this point if you want, Carl. I want to share my observations just so, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on any part of this by all means. It's certainly at best a challenging situation. If you were to take a bird's eye view, the footprint of the house, it creates a C type structure if you're looking straight down. And the tank is right in the existing, we believe it's 1,000-gallon tank, is in the middle of that. It's a place where they've kept dogs. There's a piece of chain link fence there. A few feet away from that are power lines. And the leach pit is pretty much, it appears to be pretty much directly in line with the tank, except it's, I don't know, Carl, 10, 15 feet lower than the grade in the dog pen?
Yes, about 10, I would say.
Okay, about 10. So some of the complications are any machinery would have to basically be operating on top of where the leach pit is. So protection would have to be provided so as not to damage the leach pit, which they pump every 3 or 4 years and everything is functioning. There are wires to contend with. The fence, frankly, that's not a big deal in the world of construction. It can be, the post can be remained and the fence can be dismantled, and it's a chain link, so it could be put back up. One of the things that Bill brought to my attention afterwards, Carl, is, I was thinking, oh my God, this is a real nightmare. How are we going to get a normal tank in there? And that would have required a crane and all sorts of things. However, poly tanks are available in which really 2 or 3 people can carry the thing. So heavy machinery isn't needed for that. And poly tanks do come in 1,500-gallon capacity, which is what the board, and as a homeowner, I'm sure you would like to see just to preserve your system. So all that being said, that's the situation. My personal suggestion at this point is that if I were you, Carl, and I am not, understood, I would reach out to one of our local septic installers to get their take on what's really involved, assuming the installation of a poly tank, which would eliminate some serious equipment costs. Still have wires to deal with, power lines to deal with, and so forth. But I think it would behoove and is appropriate in this situation for everybody to have a better understanding of what all the mechanics are required to upgrade from the 1,000 to a 1,500. And there's information there that I have no knowledge of, and that's why I would suggest reaching out to people who do this work to give you some advice, some insight, and some cost estimates. It's the whole idea of major renovations, some by choice, some by necessity, and I think yours is probably some of both. Certainly some was by necessity, that keeping in line with the property, it's ultimately beneficial to upgrade to compliance as close as you can be. And we're not talking about any change in septic pit or anything like that at this point. That's not what this conversation is about. And I don't foresee that conversation. It's really meaningfully about upgrading the tank size. Thoughts, comments from anybody? The sound is deafening.
Well, I think it's sound advice.
Well, we've
Carl-
used a poly tank in town. It seemed to work for some people.
Several have just been put in. Paul Wheeler just put in a 1,500 gallon on Carter Street. Another one, smaller, 1,000 gallon, was just installed at the Bullard House this past week. You know, they're totally sanctioned, permissible, and much easier to work with than the concrete ones, particularly when you're in tight quarters, whether it be ledge buildings, whatever, because they can be maneuvered literally by hand by you know, anywhere from 2 to 4 people can move these things around, which saves I'm sure a considerable amount when it comes to machine time.
I'm not exactly sure the difference in size between 1,000 and 1,500, like in square footage, but we'd have to enlarge the hole, and that would be the interesting part, to get something close enough to it to enlarge the hole and take the other tank out in pieces.
I don't disagree with you, Carl. I just think we need to talk to somebody who does it daily or frequently to comment on the degree of difficulty and what's possible and what's not. It's certainly a legitimate question, consideration. It's not one I'm capable of, you know, it's not my bailiwick. I can't comment on that. Is there trickiness to this situation? Yeah, there is. No denying that. I think in some regards, you know, the leach pit can be protected. Working around the power lines, I don't know. You need an equipment operator to really comment on that. They know what their margin of error, let's say, is. So my suggestion at this point is that do some research, some homework on this, and we will revisit the whole situation. I'd like to get some, you know, and if you find somebody that you like and you're willing to work with, certainly invite them to a meeting so they can explain pros and cons of what they see with this situation. You know, the door's not open, it's not closed. It's just like, we just need to dig a little deeper to see if we can accomplish something that's beneficial to, well, primarily the benefit is to the piece of property. You're the current caretaker of the property. At some point, somebody else will be, just as it is with my house and anybody else's house. And you know, an opportunity to do the right thing code wise is always advisable if it can be accomplished reasonably.
Well, that sounds reasonable. We can get
I mean, unfortunately, can't give you a yes or no answer tonight, but you know, in thinking about it and digging into things, take a step-by-step approach, so that we can, you know, make a more intelligent and fiscally responsible decision.
Would it be possible to get a building permit? It's on hold right now because the side of my house is open.
Bill, what are your thoughts?
I think we could move the building permit forward, qualifying it in the viewpoint comments that, you know, that investigation of an upgrade to a 1,500 gallon tank is ongoing.
Yeah, we certainly, you know, I was there. I saw the amount of work going on, and it's
Yeah.
substantial, certainly.
We
And
know where you live.
We know where you live, yeah, right. And we're not to pull, we're not likely, we have no interest in pulling the rug out of continuing progress because the summer is only so long. Even Todd says 2 weeks, I say September 1st, it's probably going to be October, but whatever, that's a lot of things happen with those kind of projects. So we just deal with it. But I think we can certainly issue something that allowing continued construction because that's important at this point in time, based on the fact that you'll get some information, get some research, and get back to us with some good detail on that. And
Absolutely.
then we take the next step.
Okay,
Does that work for folks?
that works for me. When's your next meeting?
August 6th.
August 6th. You
Okay.
might be able to get some dimensions, Carl, on the different tanks and stuff like that in the meantime also from,
Well,
anybody.
there's only going to be one tank, a 1,500-gallon poly tank, so there's not much research to do there. Tanks Plus and Lemonster will have all that information. One-stop shopping.
Okay,
Well, that sounds like a plan and we'll get into that and have something for you when we get back together.
Okay, any questions between now and then? Either get hold of Bill or myself, Carl.
Great, thank you.
Okay? All right,
Yep.
appreciate it.
Good to see you, Carl.
Take care.
Good night.
Who's Mike we got here?
I don't know. And I haven't seen Evan Carloni.
Yeah,
This
I
is
tried.
Mike and Kathy Hyatt. We're trying to figure out how to get Zoom to work properly. Sorry.
Okay. We're good. Next, for Woodward F. Septic tank.
Yeah, Paul Wheeler started excavation for what was going to be a 1,500-gallon concrete tank there at the Bullet House. Hit shallow ledge, not a surprise, and called myself, Paul McKelk, Dan Wolf, the engineer, and switched to a 1,000-gallon poly tank, which did fit. So we gave him the permission to continue working and said that we'd update the board tonight and actually did the inspection today. So the permit will be revised to reflect that. The feeling is, I think getting anything in there is better than nothing.
Yes.
And the fact that it's going to be a museum,
Yeah.
it's only going to be open, maybe 14 days a year. I'm taking a wild guess, and it's not going to get a lot of traffic. They're not going to be producing food. So downsizing the tank from 1,500 to 1,000 seemed to be the intelligent thing to do to keep this project going, because everybody would like to see it get done.
Oh, definitely. And would you monitor that every 3 or 4 years, Paul, or just leave it at what it is?
Well, it's now a 2-tank system. We'll set
yeah.
something up with historical relative to pumping, but it's,
Yeah, right. But it's
for the
yeah.
kind of usage,
It'll never get.
if they
yeah,
pumped once every 4 or 5 years, it'd probably be more than adequate. But
Right. Very good.
All right. Why don't we move to Title V inspection reports?
Yeah, we also have a permit there, 26 Peach Hill Road, that's not a hearing.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
We actually looked at that plan last meeting with Vito from Cornerstone Engineering.
Mhm.
That's where they're going to add a bedroom. The existing leaching facility was shown to be large enough, but they did agree to upgrade to a 1,500-gallon 2-compartment tank, vent the trenches, add an inspection port, do a couple items to bring that system more into compliance with today's code. So the permit, the board approved that proposal last meeting. This is the actual permit for that installation. And if the board is all set with that, I can sign for the board.
Was that Pendergast, Billy?
Yes, it was. Yep.
Yeah, okay, yeah, right, I remember. Yeah.
Very good.
that George's house?
I think it's one of the boys.
One of the boys.
Yeah. Yep. It was a right newer, like pre-95, but not the original.
Okay. Oh. I know somebody that might be able to reach out to Evan. Let me just make a quick phone call.
And I apologize to everyone. We were trying to set up our own. And we even had help.
When you get hold of Elizabeth Alberts, we're waiting for Evan Carboni relative to the situation, but we have a new number.
So Bill, what did you do to get in tonight?
It's pretty simple. I hit the link on the, I go to My Town Government to the public meetings, pull up the agenda, hit the link within the agenda. So the ID had expired, just typed in the new one that Donna had texted, and it brought me right to the meeting.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Mary is calling the owner of the property 52 Peach Hill, who should have Evan's number.
Yeah, I tried.
Evan's number?
Yeah,
Well, this person may have his cell number. I don't know. Just another avenue to explore. That's all.
yeah.
I'll text Evan also.
Yeah, I texted him too, but
Well, he's probably, Donna's texting him. He's probably thinking it's some strange woman.
I know exactly.
Don't send any pics. Come on now.
No. No.
What about Title V inspection reports? Should be
Sure.
brief.
232 Randall, pass. 111 Sawyer Hill Road's a pass. 28 Barnes Hill Road's a conditional pass, needs a septic tank and a D box. We'll be seeing a permit for that work. Evan says he's logging in right now.
Okay, good.
72 Highland and 23 Carr, those are both passes also.
Okay.
Okay.
See, he did think it was a strange woman trying to get in touch with him.
I think he was just waiting for 7:30.
I am a strange
Oh,
woman.
that could be.
Yeah.
Oops. There's a variance here, right? 7:30. 1 minute.
Do we
Anything
have
else? Lisa?
diagram, Sue, for 72 Peach Hill? Or
I
52?
do.
So what?
I do. I don't know
Okay.
how it's gonna work tonight, but I'm gonna try.
All right.
You doing?
Oh, there he is. No, Todd raised his.
Todd and Mike
Oh.
are in there.
You should all be seeing the drawings.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes, we are.
So now you want them bigger? Because you're never happy, Paul.
well, it's not bad.
It's all right by me.
Is it, Todd trying to get on there too?
I-
So we can-
I can't see him now.
Todd would be involved with Carl.
Yeah,
Todd's doing the work there, so.
Oh,
there, all right, I can't see anybody.
I thought he might be on the Peach
All right,
Hill.
Todd,
thing.
no, Mike
I'm
Evans.
gonna stop sharing for a minute.
Look, okay, there we go. All right, there's Evan.
Show me the handsome guy.
No, move to panelists.
How many more do
Okay,
you
he's,
need?
he's joining.
Lots.
Go to
They,
Vegas.
they just gotta unmute.
There he
What-
is.
Hey, Evan.
Hi, everybody.
Oh,
It was my fault, Evan.
Hello.
They have us now trying to set up book our own Zoom meetings. And apparently
Oh,
we did it wrong.
hey, we're here. Everything's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, that was me trying to contact you, just so it's not some strange lady.
I
So-
appreciate it.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, it's
We can
7:31.
begin the hearing.
Yes. Evan Carloni for Elizabeth Alberts for 52 Peach Hill Road.
Yes, would you like me to share my screen here?
Oh, I love you. That's why I
Alright.
love to see you come.
We're prepared. Let's see here. There we go. All right. Does everybody see that okay?
Yep.
All right, excellent. So 52 Peach Hill Road. Again, Evan Carloni, Innovative Septic Design. Thank you for having me. 52 Peach Hill Road, we've got an existing 3-bedroom home. We do have some local regulation waivers that we're requesting, 1 local upgrade approval, and then 2 allowances through a DEP approval letter for the Presby system. So again, this is a Presby, just zooming in here. Just to go over the site briefly, we encountered quite a bit of ledge. We've got a well in the front yard. That's the
Okay.
drinking water well. And then we've also got a sneaky little well down in the shed here that if it's not used for irrigation, we're going to make it used for only irrigation or decommission it. We'll see what comes of that. It's a little bit of a mystery about how it's where it goes at this point in time. The current leach field is right here, this boxed outline, which is partially on the property. And then we've got the tank that's in the area of the proposed tank. So the system that we have proposed is a new septic tank, a dual compartment septic tank with a pump chamber after that to then pump to an area where we found a decent amount of soil. That's part of the request. So we dug quite a bit. We dug in this area in the backyard, ledge, shallow to ledge everywhere. We went back about 100 feet or so from there. It's a fairly large property, but we found the same, if not worse, back here. So the requests, scrolling over here. So to start with the local requests, we've got five total today. 2 local requests. One of them is it's actually that probably shouldn't be on there. Approval of 1 total percolation test, which we weren't able to run a percolation test. We ran a sieve. That's part of the local upgrade. So I guess that actually shouldn't be on. The next request here is approval of variance from the reserve area. It is our replacement, and there's plenty of room, but just not a lot of soil really anywhere on site that we've seen. The third is the local upgrade approval that was just mentioned, the approval of use of sieve analysis. It was still very damp at that time. Things have finally dried out recently, but when we were there in May, we were still having some pretty wet conditions. The 4th request is in regards to the offset to the high groundwater elevation, requesting a 1-foot offset to the high groundwater elevation from 4 feet down to 3 feet. And then we are also requesting as part of the remedial use approval letter for the EnviroSeptic system is a reduction in 2 feet of pervious soil. Again, this property, the test holes we dug. We dug quite a few more in the backyard. We just showed it as one. We didn't log every single one, but pretty much everything in this backyard was all very shallow to ledge. And the area in test hole 1, 2, and 3 had the most soil out of the testing that we did. So those are the 5 requests. And if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
No, was the
These
existing?
are elevating.
Go ahead, Bobby.
Just wanted the elevation. Bill, Evan is coming up how far on that system or?
So let's see, it is coming up, well, our minimum is 101.58, and we're at the, let's see, between the 97, so let's just assume on the low side we're 97, so we're about 4.5 feet, anywhere between 3.5 and 4.5 feet.
Oh, yeah, okay, yep.
Yep.
Thank you.
Is the existing system in failure?
Yes.
Do we have it? Just curious, do we have any idea how old that system was?
That's a good question.
I don't think we had records, but I guess it's probably 1960s or older.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say-
it's so old. There's no records. How's that?
All right, that's old enough.
Old enough where it's on the neighboring property partially.
Yeah.
Oh, that too, back in the day.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Any comments from anybody? Questions?
It's better than a failure to upgrade, I think. I don't
And
know if any-
putting it all on this piece of property.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was paying attention.
Were there abutters here? Do they have any questions or comments?
Yeah, that's,
Evan, could you stop sharing your drawing?
Yep. I can, yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Donna, do we have everybody up that
Yep.
wants to be up?
That's it.
Todd, are you there? I don't know, is he in a butter, Todd, to that property, Todd Matthews?
Yeah, Todd is, so are we. It's Mike and Kathy Hyatt. We're at 36 Peach Hill. I don't
Hi
know
there.
if Todd's showing up. Hi. But we've been listening. I guess my only question is, and obviously the Board of Health wouldn't allow it, but is there any impact to the environment around it that would impact properties around it?
I'd say it's better. It's an improvement.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yes.
with a failed system, surely.
Okay, that's good to know. I don't know the language, so I don't fully understand it. I just want to hear what's going on in the neighborhood and just make sure that we.
That's
Sure.
quite all right. And we encourage people to visit us every meeting.
If you're a neighbor, this is exactly what you would want to see, replacement of a failed system with something that's brand new with current technology that should last quite a while.
Yeah. Also,
Be much
Paul.
safer.
Yeah, the system's quite a ways away from your well, and this system will be elevated above the groundwater table, where that existing system is probably in the groundwater table, which offers much better treatment.
Right.
Any other questions or comments?
I'll make a motion that we vote on approve all variances
I'll,
requested.
I'll second that motion.
All right. All in favor? Aye.
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 Okay. Variances are so granted, and you can proceed with the new system.
Yeah, I'll draft a permit and sign it for the board.
All right. Thank you very much. Everybody have a
All
great
right.
night.
Good night.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you
Thank you.
Thank
Till
you.
next time. Bye.
can see.
Okay. I do think I'd like to ask a question of Bill.
Hmm.
What triggers a new tank in other towns?
They
you
do
got-
not they do not apply the building permit value in Lancaster or Bolton. Sometimes a detached in-law might trigger a tank, but even with an in-law within an existing home, oftentimes they don't. Like Berlin absolutely requires a two-compartment tank or another tank if any type of in-law is being approved, whether it's attached or within the existing dwelling. Bolton, if it has the flavor of a single family, they treat it as such. But again, that's kind of an interpretation of that section of the code. Berlin's always held a hard line with new tank if it's an in-law, which I think is a good idea. And the building permit value, as Paul has explained many times, you're improving your property, and this is a time when you could, put a small portion of what you're investing in your property towards a new tank, which is going to aid to the life span of your system.
I mean,
Yeah,
one
the
thing to
value of
add
your
to
house.
that is if we didn't require that, and a property goes to change hands, somebody's going to be on the hook to upgrade that tank anyhow at some point. So, and that costs money, and it would take it off the top of a sale price. So if you're spending money on your property, it seems to me to make good fiscal sense just to take care of, let's call these details. They're fairly major, but at least your property is now more in line with what's required. So there's likely to be no, negative impact when you go to sell. It's all
Take the hit,
positive.
take the hit now, not when it's
Pay
on the
now,
up.
you pay now, or you pay later, and if you pay later, it's going to cost you more.
Right, I agree.
It's a simple rule.
Yep.
Okay, anybody else, anything new? Any other subjects?
Other than we're closer to taking, can we meet with the Unibank people on Thursday between, I forget the time they requested, 1 and 3 or something?
Well, we seem to have some conjecture there. I talked to Stan, and that's what he told me. I talked with Kathy a couple times today, and Unibank wants to meet us at the transfer station. So I threw it back to Kathy. I said, find out from them what days, what their hours are that they would be available, and if there were any days where they couldn't be there, and that we would get back to them the schedule. And then Stan tells me that he got an email about Thursday, and Kathy also emailed me saying her contact was on vacation and she would get back to me. So I really don't know where anything is at with that. Stan may or may not be there Thursday. He's in Maine, and something has happened with his back. He's not sure if he's going to be back on Thursday. So I don't know about, I'll touch bases. Maybe Sue, you and I can touch bases with Kathy tomorrow and see where Unibank is on all this. But if they're going to come, Stan should absolutely be there because he's going to be the prime user or manipulator of this whole system. So
Right.
Is this to do with like a phone line in, Paul, or reignite the
No,
phone lines?
We have Starlink all hooked up to the transfer
Oh.
station,
Terrific.
and we're trying to connect Unibank to our tablet at the transfer station. It's got the
Yeah.
menu in it, so we can accept credit card payments. Now we've got the revolving account.
Yeah.
All we need is a little doohickey that connects to the tablet,
Yeah.
which we bought. And I think we're good to go, but we're just we want Unibank people to show us.
If it
Right.
isn't Thursday, I could be there after 1:30. Just,
Okay.
I may need to know how to,
It would probably be good if
Yeah.
we can work it out with your availability as well, Donna, absolutely.
yeah, cause
Absolutely.
then I get out at 1 and I could be there by 1:30 on a Thursday. Yeah, cause I need to know how to reconcile, cause I think it's like at month end. So
Yep.
that I'll need to know how to do that. So just a thought. I mean, worst
Yeah.
case,
No, no, we want you there.
okay.
You catch it all.
Okay, yeah, I do catch it all.
And to answer a question you asked me this morning, Donna, June and Kristen have yet
Yeah.
to meet.
Okay,
June has that question on her list.
okay,
I checked with
okay.
June this afternoon.
Yeah, because I know she's knee deep in year end and
Yep.
stuff. I get that. But I gotta get that build process and then we gotta figure out how to transfer funds. So, yeah.
Yes, we want to pay Bill. Has anyone explained to Bill what's happened?
Nope. I don't think it, well,
Well, it really doesn't
doesn't-
affect him, but
right.
briefly, we submitted a budget from Neshoba based on past increases. We were waiting to hear from
7.5%.
Jim. We were waiting to hear from Jim. We had to submit our budget and then Neshoba comes back and with the final budget, and the assessment was $400 more than we had anticipated. So June's in a position, well, do I pay it? Because that commits, and she's just dotting her i's, crossing her t's. I don't think there's a
Sure.
real issue there, because like I told June, I
Yeah.
said, we we have more than enough money to pay for the first 3 quarters, and the last quarter will
Right.
work out. But
Right.
she and Kristen are gonna get that resolved
Okay.
between them on how that happens.
Yeah,
Yes.
because it went from
I'm not-
7.5 to 9 and we weren't prepared for
9%.
9, right? Which was a big, I guess something about a slush fund and we're like, well, we didn't know.
Yeah, well,
I even offered to write a check, cover the difference for you.
To
Bill.
keep the warden happy, yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. That's crazy.
but anyhow, that's just housekeeping, really. That's,
Yeah.
Right.
you
Yep.
know. Anything else?
No,
I'm good.
Not that I can
Um,
think of. I
We,
did,
we haven't, go ahead.
What, Bobby?
I was just gonna joke and say we haven't had to wear our sweaters lately.
No, not at all.
no, I think a big storm's headed this way. I'm kind of dark where I am.
Well, we're supposed to get a thunderstorm tonight,
That's okay.
and the weather is supposed to break Thursday for
Yeah.
like
Yay.
3 or 4 really nice days.
Yep.
Nice.
Saturday's the Clinton Townwide Yard Sale and I'll be setting up.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you guys need junk.
All right.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a nice day. So I'm looking forward to that.
All right.
Very good.
Do I hear a
Okay, good.
motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I'll second that.
All right. All in favor? Sue,
Aye.
Bobby,
Aye.
Paul, I as well.